Hi everybody, good evening. It's almost midnight here, which means it's almost Easter. I am recording this video because I was asked to record it almost forever and a day ago, so here we go. This is off the October 2010 first year law students exam. This is a question in which the call of the question, I'm going to scroll down a bit for you, says under what theory or theories might reboot bring a lawsuit against data? What defenses, if any, can data assert, and which party is likely to prevail? So when you get a question like this, you might initially off the bat want to start creating 1, 2, 3, 4 different calls, but it's much easier to just say under what theory or theories might reboot bring a lawsuit against data, and just say it like that, because you're clearly going to go through defenses, so there's no point in then just creating a second subject. So just take this, and as you can see right here, make your call. Under what theory or theories might reboot bring a lawsuit against data? All right, so in other videos, what I've done is I've walked through what my outline looks like for you. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk through this with you, what I see when I'm reading. I know that many of us are told to circle names, underline issues, but I'll just walk through how I do it. Now, like I tell everybody with the first year law student exam, how I do it may not be how you do it. First year law school is, it's different for everybody. Everyone learns how they're going to learn. So hopefully, if you're watching my videos, it's because you learn how I learn and you understand how I understand. If not, that's fine. Go find somebody else, because sometimes the best thing you can do is hear the same thing said 50 different times in different ways. All right. So let's start the call. So we've got our call, right? What theory or theories might reboot bring a lawsuit against data, and what defenses? And then who's going to prevail? All right, so we got a call. Now let's go through the question. And this is what I do, and this is how I see it. Data is a processing company. Data's business depends on the operation of several large computers. Data has decided to employ an outside company to provide computer maintenance. Okay, so maintenance is a service, right? So that tells me common law controls, because common law controls services. If data was providing pieces of a computer, if they were providing tangible, movable objects, then we wouldn't be under common law. We'd be under the, think about it, kids. Come on, I do this every time. UCC. All right. So I just put a little line there, and I just put maintenance is a service, common law controls. All right, so the next day, reboot faxed its standard contract form data. All right. So what I'm seeing here is this is kind of preliminary. No specific terms are noted. No manifestation of present intent. So let's look at the next part. So the next day, when reboot faxed its standard contract data, what I have here is I have underlined next day reboot faxed. And I have manifestation of an intent to be bound, communicated via fax, including specific terms, price. Once you get into the thing, you realize that's exactly what it is, because they're faxing this. But this right here is their manifestation of intent to be bound. So we read, the client hereby agrees to purchase computer maintenance services from Reboot at a cost of $2,000 a month. Reboot hereby agrees to provide up to 10 hours of service per month, with additional hours payable at $300 per month. Reboot further agrees it will provide same-day service in response to every service requested. If you've read this whole fact pattern, you know that's a thing, but we haven't, so we don't know. This agreement shall expire within 1 year from the date in which it's made. In the event the client fails to make a payment required under this agreement, 80% of the entire remaining balance of this agreement shall become immediately due and payable. I underline that because clearly we know this is a liquidated damages clause. This right here is liquidated damages. Whether or not it's legit liquidated damages or it's a penalty, we don't know. And we know that that's a big factor into whether the court is going to acknowledge this or not. So I've underlined that, and I put liquidated damages, question mark. So, Data signed and returned the contract. Underlined that. Valid writing, signed evidence of parties' intent to contract. You should be thinking in your head, why does it matter whether or not this is written and signed? And made the first $2,000 payment. All right. Unequivocal assent by the offeree to the terms of the offer, common law mirror image, acceptance upon dispatch mail. This is mailbox. So what we have here is, offer acceptance. I tend to focus heavily on that because I really hope to God that every contracts question just focuses on offer and acceptance, that formation piece at the beginning, because if that's what I'm looking at in an FYLSE essay, I'm going to do great. It's the rest of that. So what we have here is this made the first $2,000 payment. This is our consideration. It's showing our bargain for exchange, inducing legal detriment, binding both party, money for service. Somebody's giving a service and somebody's giving some monies. So during the first month of the agreement, Dana made 2 service requests. Both requests were received by Reboot at 9. I underline that. Now I don't have anything next to it. I just underlined it because it's very specific. And these FYLSE people, these graders, these writers, these question figure outer people, they make these things specific for a reason. Now, why they would tell me they were received at 9, I don't know, but I know they didn't put it in there just because they wanted to do it for funsies. So in each case, Reboot personnel arrived at Data's office at noon, quickly fixed the problem. In both instances, Data's president complained about the delay. Now, I underline this part, complained about the delay. Now, what I didn't understand is, I didn't understand the delay, because from the fact pattern and what we read above, what we're told is that they agreed they'll provide same-day service. And then we're reading that there was a delay, but the complaints were received at 9, which we underlined. I don't understand this delay. So maybe they're expecting like immediate services. I'm not quite sure. So when I've underlined complaint about the delay, what I've done is I've also written next to this might be a condition. I'm not really sure whether or not this is in condition, because if there was a delay, which I don't get, but I can't put my own feelings into the fact pattern, then this would be a condition. And a condition is an event not certain to occur, which determines whether a duty arises or is extinguished. Now, a condition can be expressed, implied, or constructive. Condition precedent to the D's obligation to pay would be R's timely service. So I've drawn a little line under that and I've put that there. Whether or not it comes to fruition or not, I'm not sure. So they complained about the delay, but was told it was an unusually busy day. Okay. So after the second service call, Data sent a fax to Reboot stating that Data would make no further payments under the contract. All right. So we all know, bing, 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 underline this. This is clearly an anticipatory repudiation. So a party who unequivocally states to the other party that they will not tender performance owed is said to have anticipatorily repudiated the agreement, which allows the non-repudiating party to, there's 3 things here, guys. Think about it. What would you think would be legit? Number 1, treat the repudiation as a breach, suspend their own performance, and sue immediately. Number 2, ignore the repudiation and encourage performance. Or 3, wait for when the time of performance is due and then sue for damages. This is different than had it been under the UCC. Keep that in mind. So I've underlined that, and I've clearly written anticipatory repudiation in giant letters. So if we know it's an anticipatory repudiation, and we know that the moment that happens, that the other party can go ahead and sue, we have a breach. Now, a party to a contract's unexcused failure to tender performance or to perform an absolute duty owed the other party. It's our breach. So now we get here. Data later hired a different service company. Reboot then sent a letter to Data demanding the $17,600 representing 80% of the total balance. So duties under a contract are discharged when there's the occurrence of an event unforeseeable at the time of formation, which frustrates the purpose of the contract, and the purpose of the contract is known to the parties, but most show intent of the parties. So we have anticipatory repudiation, but we also have the other side trying to say that, we got some problems here. We have a discharge where the occurrence of the event, which was unforeseeable at the time. So we want to underline that because we want to claim both parties. Like, we want to be the plaintiff and we want to work for the defendant. We want to work for everyone when we're writing these essays. So here we go. We've got this underlined. Is this a liquidated damages clause? Like we have it above. Clearly, they're putting it in this fact pattern twice. They want us to bring it up. They want us to discuss it. Now, when we're discussing breaches, when data refuse to pay Reboot, when data refuse to pay, Reboot filed a lawsuit. So a non-breaching party is entitled to damages that give the party the benefit of the bargain. Those are expectation damages. Reboot entitled to seek the benefit of the bargain. So the president of Data claims that during the initial meeting with Reboot's president, she told him that it was absolutely crucial that Reboot respond to service requests with 1 hour. When you get something like this where they're telling you something happened that wasn't written, what you have here is you have your standard peril evidence. Under the traditional face of the instrument rule, Reboot's offer would be considered an integration if it reasonably appeared to be an integration within the 4 corners of the document. Now, this is where your peril evidence discussion comes into play. Here, because we're going to have to bring in peril evidence, we're going to have to discuss whether this was a full integration or a partial integration. So underline this and make sure that you write peril evidence ? Full integration ? Partial integration ? So she says Reboot's president told the group, I understand if you sign up with us, I promise we'll be there within an hour. This is clearly the language of peril evidence. Peril evidence prevents any prior or contemporaneous written or oral agreements from being admitted to the contract where it contradicts a fully integrated term found in the contract. Contradicts an integrated term in a contract stating same-day service. However, same-day service is ambiguous, and the contemporaneous oral statement would be permitted to help interpret ambiguous language if you can show it to be ambiguous. So, under what theory or theories might they bring suit? So here we go. This is Brandy's standard outline. We have our call restated as a question. We have UCC or common law. We have our bases. I've gone through this with everyone. We want our formation, performance, breach, damages. Put that in your head, memorize it, nail it. Under formation, we have offer still open, acceptance, consideration, defenses. What you choose to put under each of these is up to you and what you forget. Under performance, we have our conditions. We have our exclusive conditions. In this, we have anticipatory repudiation, frustration, and possibility. Breach, is it partial or full? Damages, expectation, reliance, liquidated, and specific. And there is your fact pattern in which they ask you what theory or theories might they bring a lawsuit. And that's how you answer it, very simply. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. If you guys want to see more, if you have any specifics, hopefully it's not just the rest of my class watching this. Hopefully it's people that I don't know. I'm recently working with a few of my school's alumni. They are bar passers. They are barred in other states. They would love to tutor you as well, make videos or tutor you one-on-one. Reach out to me in the comments or find me on Facebook. We offer a great tutoring service. We work with you as far as price, and we'll target specifically what you're looking for. So thank you for this. I hope it helped, and let me know what you guys want to hear next. Happy Easter, kiddos.